Okay, so let's see what's going on here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to import or how to really export the stems and stuff on Ableton Live from your session. So let me get down here to my desktop here, fly that in real quick here and get out of here. Let's open up Ableton Live. Take a second to open up here, load up everything. Once we do that, we will be, okay, I got my audio disabled right now so that this mic will still be heard while I'm still showing you what I'm doing. So we're going to open up the session, which was open, this test session here. Open that. Well, once we open the session up, then we want to make note of a couple of things. You want to, when you're sending out the files to somebody, you want to make sure that you also remember the tempo, or make a note of the tempo of the song, which is 75 up here. When we export, we need to make sure we got the whole song. So I got audio down there. I'm scrolled up and down, make sure I'm covering the whole length of the song. This is 17 bars long. If it went to 73 or to 150, whatever, you need to make sure a note of that, because what you're going to do is when you go up here to export under File, Export Audio, you're going to come down here, and the first thing you're going to do is look at the top thing, which is Render Track, and we want to render all. We want to pull that down and choose all individual tracks. Then we want to look at where it's starting, make sure it's not starting on 10 or another number. We're starting at the very first of the song, the very first beat. And we want to go render how long the song is. This one's at 17 bars, so I'm going to go 17. If yours was 190, then you put 190 bars or whatever, lengthwise. You might want to include the return the effects, master effects and stuff on your tracks so that it writes the effect to the song. Don't worry about the render as a loop. I guess you could. It doesn't matter. You don't want to normalize, because it's going to make the things all the wrong, different level from how you recorded it and how you set it up and had it mixed yourself. The sample rate depends on what you set the song with at the beginning. I usually record my stuff at 48 to have a decent thing, a decent audio frequencies. From the top to low frequencies, and also I like putting mine at 24 bits. It might be set at 16. I want to put it at 24 bits so I have the most dynamic range, low levels up to high levels and stuff of sound. Then once you have it all set, then you go ahead and hit export. It's going to ask you where you want to send it to. So what we want to do is we want to create, let's go back here to my test folder. We could do this just on the desktop or anywhere. We want to create a folder and call it stems or test stems, something that we'll know what it is, and we're going to go inside of that and know where it is in your library, and we're going to save it. This is the test stems. Set that and let it export. It's going to export I think it's going to do a master mix, and it's going to do each individual track that you have active. So you want to make sure all your tracks over here on the right side are all engaged, turned on. They're not muted out, and they're also active right in this area. Sometimes you can have waves and stuff that are grayed out, and you have to click on them in order to activate them. So it's doing that. It's getting ready to do the last reverb. It's analyzing and converting. The last two to do is reverb and the delay one. Once it's done, then you're finished with that. So, I did this again. I want to go back into it. It's always a good idea to send if it depends, send the whole session. So I'm going to open this back up again. Let's go here, open the song up. There's a recent last one I did. It may be a good idea to put in that same folder. That's the whole thing is file management. You got to make sure you're sending all the files and everything included in the files are all in this one folder that you eventually going to zip up, which I'll show you in a second. And once you zip it up, so we got all these things here. You want to go up here to File, and you want to collect and save. You don't need the factory presets if somebody has the program, but you could include it, and that way they got everything necessary. In case somebody may have an older version, they may not have all the factory sounds. So I should have did that. I think it did it. It collected and saved. Let's go over here and look real quick here. Oh, the test. Right here on the desktop. Test. Okay, so it didn't put it there. So what I want to do is I want to save. I want to make sure it's in that folder. And see, that's what's happening is everything's not in here. So I'm going to go save a copy. Or save set as. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to save set as. And I'm going to go back here. Go to my test stems folder. And whatever the name of the song is here, I'm going to save that. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit collect and save all. And hit OK. And now it should have all, if I open up the test stems here, go into this folder here, all the samples, which is all the recorded audio and everything, all the stuff that needs to be backed up in here is all in here. And so now I'm good here. So now what I want to be able to do here is I want to take this same folder here that has everything in it. You can see the size of it right now is 127 megabytes. I want to zip that up so that I can send it on my Google Mail or Google Drive and stuff, because it's a bigger file, bigger than 25. So I'm going to go down here to send to compressed files. If you're on a Mac, it's going to be just right click and do compress file. Let it compress. It'll take a second, and it's going to grab all that and it's going to squeeze it down into one file here, as you can see, called test stems zip. And if you click on it, you can see that everything is in there. So all the files in there. So anyway, I want to go back into that test stems here. This right here. Let's see how big it is. You can see the properties on the right side, but it's 70 megabytes versus the 128 that it was before. So that's what you email out to me or to whoever you're sending it to, and once you do that, then boom, you go ahead and you can go ahead and let the person know and stuff, and they'll be able to download that file and have all the things necessary to go ahead and do what they got to do. All right, thank you.